Let's turn it there.
Good.
Okay. Oh, Lily is there. Surprise,
She's in San Francisco. Can't you see?
Yes.
Hi, Maya. Guys, we'll get started in just a couple minutes. I'm going to wait. I know a few other folks are planning on joining us.
I missed the 5:30 a.m. crew.
I know.
Hi, Maya.
I know Tim and Nicole were planning on coming.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I have my video. I would have to restart my camera to get my video going. Does it need to be video to me or just to you?
No. Just as long as you can see me, that's all that matters.
Okay. All right. And when you said medium or whatever, light and medium or something weights, I mean, all I've got is some dumbbells here.
Yeah, that's perfect. The 8s that you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. If it gets to be too heavy, you could always, if you have like a can of soup, maybe.
I have some lighter dumbbells than that too.
Oh, okay. Then you're totally fine.
Okay. And I'm inside, not outside. So
Oh, good.
open the window because it'll get hot.
Hey, Eric.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
So far, so good.
Good. Is Nicole joining you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, Nicole. Oh, I forgot that one.
Eric, nice garage setup. Welcome to the club.
Hi, Edwin.
Hey, morning. Good morning.
So guys, I still haven't quite figured out how to share a timer on here. So I am taking a Zoom like back to basics class this afternoon. So hopefully I can get that answered. So I will be using my phone. I'm gonna roughly time things today, but it's not like critical. I'm doing it mostly just to make sure that we end like after an hour or maybe before. So that's the primary reason for the timer. So don't worry if you can't see it or hear it or anything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, guys. First, welcome everyone, good morning. Couple of things here. Does anyone not have dumbbells and therefore using a kettlebell or a backpack instead? All right, wonderful, excellent. So I will primarily demonstrate with dumbbells then. I might switch to a kettlebell just because I am more comfortable with that, but your dumbbells are perfect for this. If you have only one set and it's on the heavier side, I will show you a way to just drop down to using one because some of the movements that I programmed today are a little more challenging, a little more complicated, but that's on purpose because you're just here, you can see me, the idea is you just follow along with me, okay? If you do get maybe frustrated with the movement or don't quite understand what's going on, just go back to a previous one. I'm gonna always start with the easiest version, like least complicated version. So you can always fall back to that if you need to. Let's see. Also, kind of one of my goals today was to show you a lot of various ways you can mix up your training by either varying the tempo or adding in holds to the movements. So that's why it might be a little bit more on the complicated side today. Let's see. Also, today, we will primarily be focusing on upper body. So we have chest and back and shoulders. We're also going to do a little bit of lunging and then finish off with some core work. The reason we're not doing a lot of squats is because you have a special Earth Day WOD coming up tomorrow that will have squats in it. And you will also be doing a lot of squats if you join Coach Matt on Friday at noon on Facebook. It is a death by air squats, followed by a death by push-ups. So basically Murph training for next month. So that's why we're not really focusing too much on the quads today. All right, so with that, looks like everyone is muted, so that's good. There's a lot of stuff written on the board. This is primarily gonna be for me, just to make sure I stay on track. In general, we're gonna start off with some flow work with the dumbbell. It's a warm up, not a workout, so definitely go lighter on this. After that, we'll get into our chest and back workout. We'll have a little bit of Turkish get up work with some shoulder work, followed by the lunges and then the core. So all these are going to be pretty kind of short sections and hopefully kind of move through quickly so that you don't get bored on me, okay? Unless there's any questions or just kind of give me a thumbs up if we're good to go. Awesome.
Hey, Beth, one question. Is there going to be a lot of overhead stuff today?
In the Turkish get up, I've added in some shoulder presses along the way, but what you can do is just not include those and just hold whatever weight you have or your shoe even overhead during the Turkish get up. That's probably the only thing that's really going to be overhead in this motion. We will be bench pressing basically, but that'll be over the chest.
Cool.
All right, wonderful, cool. Okay, so guys, we are gonna start with one dumbbell. And what I want you to do, guys, is you're gonna hold the dumbbell horizontally with two hands. We are gonna flow through several different movements. So again, this is just meant to get the whole body warmed up. I'm gonna demo once, and then I'm gonna set the timer for 3 minutes to count down, and then you're just gonna follow along with me, okay? So we will deadlift it one time to get it up to our waist, okay? But that'll be the only deadlift that we do. After we deadlift, we'll go into a hinge, and then we'll row to the chest, we'll stand, we'll bicep curl, press, and then what's called a tricep extension, and then we'll halo around the head. So Tim, going back to your question, there will be a little bit of overhead pressing here, but with one dumbbell, it should not be too challenging. Cool. All right, guys. So we're gonna get started in 10 seconds. Dumbbell can be on the ground, guys. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, deadlift the weight up to your waist. From here, guys, hinge over, row, stand, bicep curl, press, come behind the head, and press, come back down to the chest, and then I want you to halo around the head one way, halo around the other way, back to the chest, come back to the waist. From here, I want you to hinge row, come back down, stand, bicep curl, press, tricep extension, come back down to the chest, halo around the head. Try to keep the halo nice and tight to the head, but don't hit yourself. Good, come back to the chest here, guys, back down to the waist, butt back, row, squeeze those shoulder blades. Good, stand, bicep curl, press, from behind the head, tricep extension, come down to the chest, halo, and opposite way. Good, we're about halfway, guys. Come back down to the waist, and hinge, row, stand, bicep curl, press, behind the head into our tricep extension, back in front of the chest. Keep that halo nice and tight, up and around, back to the chest here and back to the waist. Butt back, row, squeeze, and come back up to the waist, bicep curl, press, behind the head, and tricep extension to the chest, halo, and opposite way. And back down to the waist, hinge over, really squeeze here, those shoulder blades together. Good. Come up, bicep curl, press, behind the head, extension, come back in front of the chest here, halo, 30 more seconds, halo the other way. Okay, we're gonna get one more in, guys. Hinge back, row, stand, curl, press, behind the head, extend, in front of the chest, and our last two halos. And back down, hinge all the way down, guys, and relax with no more weight. Guys, go ahead, grab a sip of water. Nice work, guys. I can see all you following along very, very well. Okay, so awesome job. On our next flow, we're going to use one dumbbell again. We're going to use one arm at a time. Okay, so we're going to go through it one time on the right side, and then we'll swing to switch to the left side. We'll go through the left side, and we'll just keep alternating back and forth between the right and left arm. Okay. You can, I'm going to use the same way. I'm going to be using lightweight in general, just in case. If you guys haven't watched Matt, Matt's talked about how hard it is to talk while working out at the same time. It's very, very true. So I am sticking with 15 pounds for the most part today. You feel free to use what you have available to you, what feels good to you. Okay. So for the movement, guys, we're going to deadlift one time, again, to get up to that waist. After that, I am going to hang squat clean, okay? From this point here, my opposite leg is going to go back into a lunge. From here, I'm going to press overhead, and then I'm doing what's called a windmill, where I'm pushing my butt back, touching the ground with my hand, and then coming back to my lunge position. Okay, I'll bring the weight down, go back into that squat, and stand. I will swing through my legs to transition to my other side. Opposite leg will go back. I will press, windmill, back to my lunge, weight back down, squat, stand. So this was a little bit more intense because we do have some squats in there. If the lunge bothers you, then just stay either in a squat or have some pillows nearby to protect your knee for that lunge, okay?
Beth, can you tilt your camera just a tiny bit so we can see more of your legs?
Yes.
Thanks.
I know, I'm trying to move back and forth. It's challenging, but yes, thank you, Hillary. Okay. All right, cool. So again, we're gonna go 3 minutes. All right, you're just gonna flow along with me. All right, I won't go too fast on this. If anything starts to get too challenging, just don't use the weight. You're still gonna get something out of going through the squats, the lunges, the pressing. Also, if this windmill position is too hard with the arm extended, just keep it here at the shoulder, touch the ground, and then come back to upright, okay? Cool. All right, guys. In 3, 2, 1, let's deadlift the weight up. We're gonna swing through the legs and go into a squat. I want the opposite leg to go back into that lunge position. You're gonna press out overhead and then push your butt to the side. Come back to that kneeling position. Bring the weight down. From here, get back into that low squat. Stand. Good. From here, through the legs to the other hand. Squat clean. Opposite leg's gonna go back. Press. Hinge. Good. Come back. Bring that weight down. Go back to that low squat. Stand. Swing through the hips to transition. Other side. And squat clean. Opposite leg goes back. Press. And then touch the ground. Come back to our kneeling position. Bring the weight down. Squat. Stand. Good. From here, guys, through the legs, transition. Squat clean. Other leg goes back. Press. Hinge. And bring the weight down. Halfway. Stand. Good. Through the legs. Swing. Squat clean. Opposite leg goes back. Press. Touch the ground. Good. Bring the weight down. Back to our squat and stand. Through the legs. Other side, less than a minute. Good. Opposite leg goes back. Press. Push that butt to the side. Good. And go back to that clean. Stand. Swing through the legs. Squat clean. Opposite leg goes back. Press. Windmill. Bring the weight down. Back to our squat. Stand. This will be our last one. Through the legs. Squat. Opposite leg goes back. Press. Windmill. Good. Bring the weight down. Squat. Stand. And deadlift. Weight back down. Awesome job, guys. Go ahead, grab a sip of water, and then we'll go on to the next movement. Next 2 movements will be chest and back. You should have 2 weights ideally, but I will also show you what to do if you have 1, or if 2 is too heavy and you're just going to use 1 for the workout.
Beth?
Yeah.
I switched to using, or I think for the workout, I'm going to switch to using 1 dumbbell.
Okay.
Because I thought it was going to be manageable with 35s, and that's a lot of
Yeah,
weight.
35 would be no joke. I think for the next part, I mean, we're basically going to be floor pressing.
Okay.
For the floor press, you might be able to get away with the 35s,
Okay.
but I'll definitely show you what to do with the one.
Okay. That sounds good.
All right, so guys, for this next one, I am going to time this one, meaning we'll stop when it's at 30 seconds, all right, and then we're going to rest for 30 seconds. And the idea here, guys, is we are going to bench press or floor press with our dumbbells 5 sets. We're going to do that on the odd minutes, and then on the even minutes, we're going to switch to standing, and we're going to hit the back muscles, okay, for 5 sets. I'm going to start with 2 dumbbells, the most common version that you're familiar with. You're going to be pressing both at the same time, okay? And this applies to both the floor press and to the Bentover Row. That is your safe place. That is, I know everyone knows how to do that. We've done in class with the bar, both for the bench press and the Bentover Row. Okay, so if you just want to do that the whole time, it's totally fine. If you have one dumbbell that you're going to use, you're just going to hold here and then just press in and out. The second time through, what we're going to do is we're going to alternate arms. Okay, so as one arm comes down and touches the chest, we'll go ahead and extend the other arm. And that'll be the same for if we're rowing. Okay. Our third movement, what we're going to do is we're going to start pressing out both. We're going to hold one hand isometrically as we come down and press with the other arm. Then we'll switch. Okay, so we're adding in that isometric static hold on one arm as we're pressing with the other. On our fourth round, what we're going to do is we're going to, again, start both arms extended. This left arm is going to stay out here the whole time, and we're just going to press with the right. Okay. And then the next time, or 5th time through, we'll switch and we'll hold, and then we'll just be pressing with our left hand. Okay. And again, the same thing applies on the row. So if you have just one dumbbell that you're going to be using, if it starts to get easy, some things you can do are negatives, where you press out this way, and then just slowly lower it in. So this would be our negative. You get to the chest, you're going to press out again. 1, 2, 3, 4, press. Okay, so that's one way to make that one dumbbell a little bit harder, but not quite as hard as if you had 2. The other thing we can do is we can press out. We can start to come in, pause, start to come in, pause, and then come in. So that's called a segmented pause, all right? So those are the 2 ways we can make that one dumbbell feel a little bit heavier, but not quite as heavy as the 2. To make things also a little more challenging, we can add a hip bridge for our press. So what that means is I'll be pressing and I'll be raising my hips up, holding. Okay. So that would be one way to just make it a little more full body, challenging the hips, glutes, and core. Okay.
I also have my 45 too, so I can use that to make it a little.
Yeah, I would say that'd probably be good if you're going to use one. Use the heavier one. Okay. Cool. Any other questions? No. Cool. Looks good. And then, guys, for our Bentover Row, we're just going to be in this position here. Okay. All right. So, guys, we're going to start with our floor press. So you can go ahead and get down onto the ground. And remember, we're just going to move both arms at the same time on this one. Okay. Remember, if you want to make it harder, just raise the hips, hold that for 30 seconds while we do this. Looks like everybody is getting set. Excellent. Basically, you all disappeared from camera, so I assume you're all in position. We're gonna get started here, guys, in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. So guys, both arms up overhead, come back down to the floor, press. Try to keep the weight over the chest muscles. You can also kind of bring the dumbbells towards each other as you press up. Just a nice even pace. Last one. Good, relax. And guys, go ahead and stand up. So guys, this one, we're gonna be just hinged slightly, and we're just gonna row both arms at the same time. Okay, 10 seconds. We're gonna start with the deadlift here. Deadlift the weight up, hinge back, and then row basically right about that torso. So elbows are gonna go back behind you. Kind of squeeze for a second, and then extend the arms down. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, last one. Good, relax. Guys, we're gonna come back down to the floor. Remember, if you're just using one, you're holding it this way. This, guys, is gonna be our alternating arms. We're gonna start here in 10 seconds. Remember, if you wanna include that hip bridge, feel free to do that. Let's get set. 3, 2, 1. Alternate. Right arm, left arm. Right, left. Really squeeze at the top. Keep that dumbbell right over the chest. Last one. Good. And stand. So on this one, guys, we're going to alternate left and right. If you're just using one, just hold here and just use both arms together. Okay, 10 seconds.
When we were on the floor and you said squeeze at the top, what are you supposed to squeeze?
Oh, the chest muscle.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Right arm, left arm. And then for this, guys, you're squeezing that shoulder blade at the top. Trying to use those back muscles. Still keep good posture. 10 more seconds. Last one. Good. All right, come on back down, guys. So in this one, guys, remember, we're going to press both arms up. We're going to keep the left arm up. Right arm will come down and press, and then we'll switch to the left. 10 seconds.
If we can do like only both arms with 2 dumbbells, should we switch to one and do the harder one, or use both and just do what we can?
I would say try both and do what you can.
Okay.
All right, guys. So press out overhead. Left arm stays up. Right arm comes down and presses, and then switch sides. That arm that is holding the weight overhead should be locked out. And last one here. Good. Guys, go ahead and stand up. We're going to go back to our row. So on this one, guys, you're holding at that top. So this arm is going to stay here, and then this one is going to row, and then this one. Okay, guys, let's go ahead, deadlift the weight up, bend over, row both, and then extend the right arm and pull back, left side. It's forcing you to really squeeze and hold that one side. Keep it close to the chest. When you're holding, 10 more seconds. Get one more in. Good, stand. Back down. All right, so on this one, guys, we're gonna press both. We're gonna leave this left one up here, and then we're just pressing the right side, okay? 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Press out both. Keep that left one right where it is. You're just pressing the right arm. Remember, if you need to make it harder, just slowly lower down, explode back up. Good. Relax and stand. So on this one, guys, remember we're going to hold both here, and then we're just going to hold the left arm here, and then we're just rowing with the right. Guys, we're doing great. We got 10 seconds here.
Sorry we're late.
That's okay. Go ahead and stand up, guys. 3, 2, 1. Hinge over. Row both. Keep the left there. And now you're just rowing that right arm. You're squeezing that left lat, holding that weight while you row the right side. We got 10 more seconds. Last one. Good. Stand and come back down. So guys, this time we're gonna press out both arms. We're gonna hold the right arm. Left arm is working. Okay, we got 10 seconds. Remember, if you need to add in that hip bridge, go ahead and press. Hold that right arm up, and then you're just floor pressing with the left side. Right arm is going to stay locked out. Try to keep the elbow straight. Keep the weight in the left hand over the chest. Last one. Good. Bring both down. And last time in our rows. Remember, we're going to row both. We're going to keep the right one glued to our side here, and then we're just going to be rowing with that left arm. 10 seconds here. Go ahead, deadlift up the weight. Stand up nice and tall, guys. Hinge over. Row. Keep that right one right where it is. Just row the left side. Good, halfway. And last one. Good, relax both, and weights down. Nice work, guys. Awesome job. Guys, go ahead and grab a sip of water. And then we'll move into our next part here. And then guys, for this, I'm gonna roughly use the timer just to kind of monitor our rest. Okay, so the next part, guys, we're gonna be doing a movement called the Turkish get up. There are several steps involved with this movement. If you've never done it before, I don't want you to use any weight. Use a shoe or something, or very lightweight for this. We are going to be pressing in 4 different spots, okay? So what I mean by that is, I'm going to start on the right side, because I'm right-handed. So my right knee is going to be bent. The weight, I'm going to press out with my right hand, okay? From here, I'm going to come up onto my elbow, keeping the space between my ear and my shoulder. This will be my first press. I will then come up onto my hand. This will be my second press. From here, I'm going to thread my leg through, come to my half kneeling, press. And then I'll stand, and you can't see, but it's a press. Okay, from here, I'm gonna bring the leg back down. We're gonna press on the way down as well. I'll pivot this leg, get my leg through, press, down to the elbow, press, and then back down all the way, okay? I'm switching to my 10-pound weight. Basically, we have 8 presses in here. Any questions? Excellent. So we're gonna go one side through. We're gonna rest for 20 seconds. Then we'll hit the other side. We're gonna do that for 3 sets, okay? So, guys, remember to get set up for this. We're going to start with the right side, so that right knee is going to be bent, okay? Go ahead and get in position, guys. And we're going to get started here in 10 seconds. You should have the weight, guys, in your right hand. Your left hand should be out to the side. Press the weight over your chest. From here, guys, come up onto the elbow. Press the weight. Come up onto the hand. Press. Slide that leg through to a kneeling position. Press. Good. Stand all the way up. Can't see my arm, but I'm pressing. Going back. Opposite leg goes back. Press. Pivot and slide that leg through. So you should be left hand on the ground. Press. Elbow. Press. And then all the way back down. Cool. So guys, that was our one side on the right side. We're gonna go on our first set on our left side here. So go ahead and get set. Left leg should be bent. Right leg's out straight, right arm is out straight. Press the weight up over the chest. Come up onto the elbow. Press. Up onto the hand. Press. Slide that leg through, get to your kneeling position. And press. Stand. Press. Remember guys, if it's too challenging, opposite leg goes back. If it's too challenging, just don't include the presses or reduce the weight. Come down guys, slide the leg through. Good, press here. Come down to the elbow. Press. And all the way back down. Cool. Guys, we're gonna rest and switch sides. So part of this, guys, is we don't want the arm kind of moving all around like this. Try to keep it steady overhead and locked out here. Okay? All right, guys. Round 2. Get started here in 10 seconds. So right leg is bent. Press the weight up over the chest. And come up onto the elbow. Press. Hand. Press. Feed the leg through into our kneeling position. And press. Stand. Press. Good. Opposite leg goes back. Press. Slide that leg through. Stay nice and tall here and press. Down to the elbow. Press. And all the way back down. Cool. Guys, we're going to switch over to the left side. So remember, left leg is going to be bent. Right leg's out straight. Right arm is out straight. Go ahead and get set with the weight on the left side. Press out over the chest. Press through and up onto that elbow. Press. And up onto the right hand. Press. Thread that leg through into our half kneeling. Press. And stand. Press. Good. Opposite leg goes back. Press. Pivot and slide that leg through. Stay nice and tall here. And press. Down to the elbow. Press. And all the way back down to the chest. Good. Nice job, guys. We got one more set. I know the Turkish get up, it's like usually a love-hate relationship. It is an awesome exercise to learn because it basically hits like everything. You've got a crunch, you've got shoulder stability and strength, you've got a lunge, you've got a hip hinge, just lots of really good stuff going on. I highly suggest spending time really learning that. Okay guys, last sit here, we're on our right side, so that means the right leg is bent. We're gonna start it in 10. From here guys, go ahead and press the weight up over the chest. Press through this left hand onto the elbow. Press. Up onto the left hand. Press. Slide that leg through into our kneeling position. And press, and then drive up through that leg, press. Good, opposite leg goes back, pivot, and slide through, press, down to the elbow, press, and back down to the ground, and we'll switch sides. So when I talk about staying tall, what I mean is don't let this ear get by the shoulder. Instead, I want you to really press through the arm that's on the ground and keep a good amount of space between your ear and shoulder here. All right, guys, last one. We are going to have our left knee bent. Right leg is out. Right arm is going to be out. Okay, so weight is in our left hand, pressed out over the chest. Press through this right hand, come up onto the elbow and press. Up onto the right hand, press. Good. Thread that leg through. Small kneeling position and press. and drive up through that front leg. Press. Good. Opposite leg goes back. Press. We're going to pivot. This is our windmill from the warm-up. From here, guys, we're going to press. Last press coming up from the elbow. And all the way back down. Under control. Awesome job. Good work, guys. Okay, so we have hit the chest and the back and the shoulders. We are now going to switch to the legs. Okay, so our next part here is our lunge finisher. It is 8 reps in 3 different holds with the weight. Okay, so what I mean by that is we are going to start with the weight in one arm. So we're going to start with the right arm in this front rack position. I'm going to move my opposite leg back into a lunge. Whoops. So I'll hold here, then I'm going to lunge 8 times here. I will then bring the weight down to my side, and then I'm going to lunge 8 times again. I will then discard the weight, and I'm going to do 8 body weight lunges, all on the opposite leg. Okay, we'll take a short little 20-second break or so, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Okay, and that'll be our lunge piece. Basically, it's called what we would call in the business a drop set. So instead of changing the amount of weight we're holding, I'm changing the position. Okay, so it gets increasingly easier as I move the weight from my shoulder to my hip to no weight at all. Okay, cool. So for this, guys, I'm going to use a kettlebell because it's just what I feel more comfortable with being in a front rack position. I can just rest on my forearm here. For you guys with your dumbbell, you're just going to hold. You can let it rest on your shoulder. Okay, so that way your biceps not having to do quite as much work. Cool. All right, guys. So go ahead and get the weight into that front rack position. Weight should be on the right side. We're going to start with that left leg going back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Go ahead and bring the weight down to your side. So this is our farmer carry position. From here, we're going to lunge 8 times. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. From here, guys, deadlift the weight down, get rid of it. You keep the weight or the hands at your hips if you want, or just at the sides. We're going to go 8 times here. Still same leg. Left leg's going back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome job. So you should be feeling that in the right leg. So right quad, right butt muscle, right hamstring. We're going to do that same thing, guys, on the opposite leg. So this time I'll be holding in my left arm and moving my right leg back. Okay. let's go ahead, grab your weight. We're going in the left hand here. So my right leg is gonna go back into my lunge. I like to keep my right arm kind of out for balance. So we're gonna start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whoops, 1 too many. All right, guys, go ahead and drop the weight down to the side. All right, let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good, guys, go ahead. Get rid of the weight. We're gonna go unweighted for the last 8 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome job, guys. So guys, that's something you can throw in at the end of a leg workout, just kind of as a finisher. I'm only doing 1 set of each, so I just wanted to show it to you and explain kind of the theory behind it and how you would use it in your training, or how you would use it with maybe having only 1 weight and just changing where you're holding it. The hardest version would be holding the weight overhead, okay? Second would be at the front rack. Third would be that farmer carry. And then 4th would be no weight. All right, guys. Last part. We're running perfectly on time. We have a 9-minute core finisher. Okay, there's 3 movements. We're gonna spend 30 seconds on each, and then 30 seconds of rest. The first one is called an atomic crunch. So, what you're gonna do, guys, is you're gonna hold your weight overhead. Ideally, I want you to stay in a hollow body position. You're gonna come up and crunch. Okay, so I'll have the weight like this in my hands, over my head. I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna have the weight basically over the knees. If that's too hard, you don't have to maintain the hollow. You could go down to the ground each time and then crunch up. You could also just not have weight and just do body weight crunches. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one's gonna be our Russian twist. For this, I prefer to use a kettlebell, but if you have your dumbbell, you can hold like this. Just be careful not to like pinch your fingers underneath it. If you're worried about that, then just hold in the center, okay? I like to use a kettlebell because then I can just hold by the horns. I do want you to have your feet down, and I want you to think about keeping the weight close to your body and fully twisting side to side. So I'm gonna look this way as I twist, twist. I find that if you elevate the feet, you start worrying about like your balance and your weight kind of goes all over the place. And we're not really hitting the obliques, which is what I want, okay? So just keep the feet down, keep the bell nice and close to your body here. Our last one is going to be plank taps. So for these, you're gonna be set up on the forearms, and I'm just going to tap. Try to keep the butt down, okay? If that's too challenging, drop the knees. It's more important that we keep the back flat versus having our butt up in the air. Okay, we don't want that. So, guys, we're gonna start with our atomic crunches. We're going 30 seconds on, and then 30 seconds off for 3 rounds.
Beth, did you say that we could use a dumbbell with this, or no? Is this one?
Yeah, you can definitely, use whatever weight you have.
Okay.
I just happen to have both here, and so I usually prefer to use the kettlebell. All right. So guys, we're gonna get started here in 10 seconds. The weight's gonna be up overhead in our hollow, crunch up, and then extend the arms overhead. Really try to drive the knees in towards the chest. We're halfway. Try to land with your balancing on your butt. Last one, and relax. Nice work, guys. So our next one is going to be that Russian twist. Remember, we're going to bend the knees, heels are going to be down. You keep the toes up or down, whatever you feel like. But I do want a full twist side to side. We're going to get going here in 3, 2, 1. Really look over the shoulder that you're twisting to. Gently touch the weight to the ground, so keep it under control. And keep it really close to your core. And relax, good. Next one, guys, is going to be our either kettlebell or dumbbell plank taps. Okay, so you're going to have your weight in front of you, and you're just going to alternate which arm taps the weight. You're going to be on the forearms in your plank. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. So plank, squeeze the butt, and then alternate hands tapping the weight. Try not to swing side to side too much. Ten more seconds. Good. Relax. Nice work, guys. So that was round 1. We're going to start round 2 in 20 seconds. Remember, if this is too hard, just don't use the weight.
Hey, Beth.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in hollow body and I'm reaching with my weight, but I don't feel like I'm popping up on my butt.
Yeah, it's kind of planned. Go ahead and get started, guys. Try to, it's like a balancing, almost like our V-ups or our knee-ins, where you're trying to find that balance between the upper back or the back and the legs. Usually I find if you're not kind of pulling the knees in enough, yeah, that looks right. There you go. Keep going, guys. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, relax. Good. All right, guys, next one is our Russian twist here. So guys, even with the feet down, if you're keeping this bell really close to your core, you should really feel it in the obliques. Okay, guys, we're gonna get started here in 3, 2, 1. Especially if you're twisting all the way to the side, you should feel it in that opposite oblique. You might also need to change and lean back just a little bit if you're not quite feeling it. If you're too upright, you might not feel it as much, so just lean back slightly. Good, relax. Let's go to our plank tap. If you're using a dumbbell, I would have it vertically in front of you, so that way you have the thicker part of the dumbbell in front of you to tap. You can also widen the feet to make it a little easier in that plank. 2, 1, and alternating taps. Good, relax. Nice job, guys. We've got one more set, all right? Next one's gonna be the atomic crunch. Susan, did you feel it any more on the last one? Okay. All right, guys, in 3, hit our hollow body position, come up and crunch. Try to think about getting the weight over the top of the knees. Pull those knees into the chest. If this is too hard, just do a regular crunch without the weight. Good. Relax. And we've got our Russian twist. Remember, if you're very upright like this, I want you to lean back slightly. Still keep the heels down, but just have about a 45-degree angle or so with the torso. All right, guys. In 3. Go. So a slight lean back, but keep that weight really close to your stomach. And twist all the way over the shoulder, each way. Five more seconds. Good, relax. And guys, last time with our plank taps. Remember, keep that butt down. If you need to, widen the feet. If you want to make it a little harder, you can elevate one leg. And 3, 2, 1, go. Remember, try not to sway side to side. Try to keep the hips stable. Squeeze the butt. Halfway. And done. Awesome job, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me today, guys. Couple of quick things. I know we're just a minute or two over. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I hope this sets up you to have a wonderful rest of the day. If you haven't already, please check out the videos I posted on YouTube from Coach Matt. Several people have asked for some of the same things, meaning my low back's bothering me, my hips are bothering me because I sit all day, my shoulders are bothering me because I sit all day. So Matt put together a low back and hip mobility routine. He also put together an upper body mobility routine, and he put together a core routine, okay? All of them are 10 minutes, thereabouts, and it's a follow along. So I told him I wanted him to set a timer, and basically all you gotta do is hit play, and you just do what he does, all right? He also put together a running warm-up routine. So I know a lot of people are going out for runs who are not necessarily runners. And so they're just like starting to run, and then they come back to me and they're like, my hips hurt, my ankles hurt, like all these things are hurting. So again, 10 minutes, follow along with Matt. He'll get you warmed up before you go for your next run. Other thing, guys, is, and if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. Lastly, please let me know what you guys need. My guess is we probably have about another month or so of this. I have put together specialty routines, programming for people that have asked me for it. So I've got some people who are like, hey Beth, this would be a great time for me to learn handstand push-ups. Can you help me? And I said, yes. And I sent them 3 programs that I wanted them to work on over the next several weeks. I have someone else that wants to learn pistols. He got 3 programs. I've got people that are asking for mobility. A lot of them were the same mobility things. That's why I just had Matt do it and posted it for everyone to use. I've got people that have weird equipment at home that they didn't know what to do with. So I've programmed specific things for them. You know what bow slides are, or a Bosu ball. I've programmed things for folks like that. So if you need equipment, you're like, oh shoot, I really wish I had an ab mat, let me know. I've been going to the gym, grabbing things, and then like Uber, I'd go and deliver it. And then I take a little picture, like Amazon, and I send it to them so they know it's safe to come out and get it. So I did that yesterday for Mary. So it is no problem. Yeah, Mary. So it is no problem. Please tell me what you guys need. If you're like, hey Beth, I just want you to text me more often, that's fine. Just let me know. Or you can just text me and let me know. So any questions or
we didn't hear anything you just said because there was a cute puppy alert going on. So
no.
the whole thing.
Will this, 2 questions. Will this, will you be doing another Tuesday morning thing or?
Yeah, so this was kind of our first time doing Tuesday morning. When I did a lot of my calls with members, a lot of them said that their schedules were kind of all over the place and they were still trying to figure out, a lot of them have kids at home, trying to figure out the kids, trying to do their work from home. A lot of them were telling me like, I'm changing when I'm working out to more around noon because that's when the kids were like at least eating and they could kind of get away. So that's why we were doing the noon classes. We had a great turnout this morning, so I'd be happy to do more morning ones. So I don't know if it'll necessarily be every Tuesday. I've also been trying to mix up the days because some members have told me that they have like standing meetings for work on certain days. So that's why I've also tried to mix up the noon classes that we've had so far. But short answer to your question is yes, I'm happy to do more. And if you have like requests, you're like, oh Beth, like Tuesday, Thursday works great for me, then just let me know.
Okay. And if I wanted to do this one again, I just use the same Zoom link from this email.
Yeah, you can use the same Zoom link, or I will most likely post this on our YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, that's probably easier. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, my mom likes to watch me on YouTube, so.
Wow.
It's her way to see me.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, if anybody's like getting into running or is into running and wants a good app to track it, if you download Strava, a lot of companies are doing these like little challenges so you can get like free stuff. Like Smartwool is giving 25% off $50 or more if you run like 100 miles in April or something like that. So I don't know if anybody's interested. It's a good.
Cool. Thanks, Camilla. Is it Strava? S-T-R-A-V-A? Oh,
Exactly.
A-D. Strada.
Strava. You had it right with the.
Okay. So it'd be.
Yeah.
My,
yeah. Oh,
my
sorry.
daughter my daughter's doing a zombie run app where the zombies chase you and you have to run like faster at certain times. And
I've done
I
that
don't know.
before. It's fun.
Yeah. I haven't done it yet, but she's done it.
Yeah, Zombie Run, I think it's called, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's frightening. Oh.
It is kind of fun though. It was good, like when Walking Dead first came out. It was fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like that app is old school. I did that in grad school like years ago. It was fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Tim.
Hey guys. Oh, look at that. Little CrossFitters.
Hi. It's good to see people.
Yeah.
Good to see you all too.
Oh my gosh, Steffi is adorable.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Oh,
just
two.
double the cuteness. Awesome. Cool. You guys, thanks again so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Like I said, if you need anything, just let me know.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Take it easy, guys. Good workout.
Good seeing y'all.
Good job.